Honestly, if I see one more post about New Year's resolutions or fake Christmas positivity bullshit about what was good and nice this past year, I'm going to just throw up, I tell you, because I do not want to talk about what was good, nice, or pleasant because transformation happens when I'm failing at something. My life literally has to fall apart and turn around sometimes for me to grow and find deeper groundedness within myself. Because the good and nice comes as a result after failing and going to the bottom of my own unconscious blocks. That's how it is in my experience. That embodiment happens when I do not know what to do or how to do it. And I feel like I fail, and that itself pushes me to uncover and bring into awareness parts of myself I couldn't see before. Anyway, here is my list. The first one, and the first one is actually my favorite one, I tell you, because after almost 4 years, I told to a male friend that I liked him. And my deepest fear was that he would say he didn't like me back or that it would make our relationship just weird and ruin it or break the relationship, something like this. And of course, he said he didn't like me back. I was expecting that. But after a while, I realized that what I was feeling with him at the time was a deeper sense of safety and connectedness that also came from processing a lot of my sexual traumas. So there was more space for something new, if you know what I mean. And I also learned that's also a very important one for me, that I also learned that love between a man and a woman is something different. Because, as one of my friends and colleagues said, it has to feel like paradise for both parties. That's when I understood the difference. By the way, yes, my relationship with him only deepened with more trust and openness to vulnerability. And being able to be deeply vulnerable with a man just brings more and more safety, and maybe some more safety into my experience. And yes, which again makes me feel more and more safe and grounded in my body. So that was the first one. And the second one is that I failed. Oh my God, it's even hard to speak about that. But that was my experience, that I failed at losing the amount of weight I wanted and just getting toned as fuck, if you know what I mean. I'm sure you know what I mean. And despite eating clean and working out properly 4 times a week for a year, I just couldn't achieve the desired body or become the sexiest bitch on the beach, if you know what I mean. And of course, I found out that the reason is my CPTSD, that my body produces much more cortisol than normal, which makes the body hold onto the fat or something. And don't get me wrong, I look very good, but being a perfectionist doesn't make self acceptance easy. But not having full control over my body led me to deeper love and acceptance of it. I came to understand experientially that I am fully loved and gently cared for, even with an imperfect body. So, what I want to say that I don't feel anymore that the body stands in the way of love and gentleness. And of course, it didn't happen overnight, romantically, just getting enlightened by an understanding while watching Netflix. I had to go to the root of my self worth issues and process hidden anger and hurt I had toward my stupid parents, who always critiqued me and criticized me and compared me to others as a child. as a skinny child, by the way. Okay, so um, what else I feel that in 2024? Okay, okay, let's talk about money. So the third one is this year was a disaster financially, with a lot of with a lot of self questioning and self doubt, because applying changes in the approach I use with people to serve their process better and empower them with these cutting edge tools, which is the Kilo B inquiries. Most of you already know that. And this is a somatic emotional self repression work. So that change brought a shift in my audience. And by moving from a session based culture to teaching and transferring the tools, it turned everything upside down for a while, because this change also helps the clients to shift from codependency and disempowerment to self empowerment, just because learning the tools and the method itself. And so this process brought up a deeper layer of trauma, of my trauma around money and safety, including how I was gaslit and abused regarding my needs or through my needs, by again my stupid parents. And accessing and processing deep layers of repressed anger and fear helped me feel more authentic and actually like empowered, and less dependent on as money as the only source of safety, so to speak. And I now see money more as a useful tool, something like this. I'm sure you know what I mean by that. Okay, so um you see, I'm opening up to you here, um because I think it's very important to speak about that, um not just the good stuff. Okay, maybe one more thing. What else is there? What else? Um, yeah, maybe one more about anxiety. Anxiety is a big one for me because I thought I would be much less anxious around people by now, and I am much less anxious compared to how it was like 4 years ago when I just couldn't go outside anymore. And now I'm connecting with people a lot. But social anxiety still happens because of CPTSD. And CPTSD here is basically just the fear of getting hurt by humans because I've been hurt by humans before, right? So there is nothing complex about that in that way. Um, because as I've experienced deeper safety and connection within myself through the inner work, my relationships with friends have also deepened. And the fact that I can now receive more emotional and physical connection from them brings an even deeper sense of being met on the inside. That again makes me feel safer in my body. And processing the resistance towards my anxiety, and it's not just resistance, it was also like judgment towards my anxiety, and processing that has led to deeper vulnerability within myself. And I could meet that part of myself deeper. That little hurt self who doesn't want to connect and just wants to be left alone in silence. So this part of myself, I know I'm speaking in duality, but this part of myself can now speak more and more because I'm not judging that part of myself anymore. So it can have a voice and can speak, And now it feels more okay to feel and show vulnerability, fear, and anxiety, when I'm with my friends, also. Yeah, that's a big one for me. And Yeah, just talking about that feels, I don't know, I just feel deeper self love within my body as I'm talking about that. So, yeah. Anyway, I could go on, but I think that's all for now. I think four was enough. I really opened up to you in this podcast. Um, yeah, honesty always helps me see the reality of the ups and downs of this life. And I still often find myself unable to accept my past and present life. Although everything has been changing for the better through the challenges, but still I just kind of hate it. But but the shift, the change, and the deeper freedom and authenticity that I experience in myself, in my life, and in my relationships as a result of the inner work are sweeter and tastier than anything. So, yeah. So I just keep going, I guess. And yeah, I wish you the courage to fail and rise in 2025, just as we all do, right? So that's all for now. Thank you for listening and love you all.